Welcome everyone to the Manage Engine Patch Tuesday webinar for the month of September 2025. As September sets in with cooler winds and clearer skies, it's the ideal moment to sharpen our cybersecurity efforts. Just as the season transitions and nature resets, let's refresh our systems with essential updates, stay aware of evolving threats, and reinforce our defenses. This month, let your patching routine stay steady because proactive care keeps your digital landscape secure and ready for what's ahead. Before we move on, I just want to double check. Can you hear me clearly and is my presentation visible? If everything's good, just give me a quick thumbs up in the chat so we can keep things rolling. I'm Niveda, product expert at ManageEngine, and I'll be your presenter today. Alongside me, we have our patch pundits ready to engage with you in real time via chat. So please feel free to post your questions throughout the webinar. Kindly note that it will be a 60-minute webinar and it is being recorded. The recorded session will be sent to your registered email IDs in 2 to 3 working days. So what is on today's agenda? First up, we'll start with the latest security news headlines covering key vulnerabilities, active threats, and major cybersecurity developments you need to know. And we will also be discussing about a scenario which was requested by a lot of participants in our webinar. Do not miss out, folks. Stay tuned. Next, we will have a detailed breakdown of the Windows life cycle as well as the end of life dates for the various Windows versions. We'll then discuss the Patch Tuesday updates for the month of September. After that, we'll demonstrate how you can simplify the patch management process for your network's endpoints using ManageEngine's patch management solution. We'll also share best practices for patching to help you perform effective patch management for your hybrid networks. And last but not least, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session to address all your queries. Let us take a look at the latest security news now. Adobe Commerce, one of the most widely used platforms for online stores, is now at the center of a serious security issue. A critical flaw, tracked as CVE 2025-54236 and called Session Reaper, lets attackers take over customer accounts without needing any login. Adobe hasn't confirmed large-scale attacks yet, but the risk is too high to ignore. The flaw allows attackers to send specially crafted requests that inject malicious code, run commands, and steal sensitive data like payment details. All it takes is one vulnerable site, no user interaction needed, and attackers can gain control, plant backdoors, and remain hidden. The danger is worsened by how many stores are still running outdated versions. Many merchants aren't aware of the risk. One unpatched site is enough for attackers to launch an attack. The good news is that the fix is already available in the latest Adobe Commerce and Magento open source versions. But there's no automatic update. You must download and apply the patch manually right away. Don't wait for the next scheduled maintenance or downtime window. It's also essential to monitor for unusual activity, review API access controls, and ensure teams are ready to respond quickly if anything suspicious appears. This is a real and growing threat. Even if attacks haven't spread widely yet, every day without patching gives hackers another chance to exploit the flaw. Updating now is the only way to protect your customers and keep your systems secure. This scenario was actually posted by one of our participants for the January month's Patch Tuesday webinar. So dear folks, please answer the poll dropped in chat. We would be pleased to address these scenarios in future Patch Tuesdays and develop best practices for you. All right, now let's dive into this. Organizations increasingly seek a seamless patching experience for third-party applications. To achieve this, they aim to follow industry best practices that ensure both security and operational continuity. By automating the patching process and implementing dedicated patching policies for third-party applications, IT teams can maintain system integrity without disrupting end-user workflows. This proactive approach not only reduces vulnerabilities but also enhances productivity by minimizing manual intervention and downtime. Let us see how to achieve this scenario. Alright, folks, first things first. Let's set up a test and approve group for third-party application patching. To start, I'll pick a sandbox environment where we can safely test the patches before rolling them out. Under third-party updates, I'm selecting all available patches. Next up, we assign a deployment policy to this group. If you'd like your end users to get a heads up before deployment, go ahead and check that notification box. Now here's something neat. You can choose to automatically approve tested patches after a few days. If that fits your workflow, simply enable the option. Let's hit create, and just like that, our test and approve group is ready to roll. Next, I'm setting up two automated patch deployment tasks, one for Windows patching and one for third-party app patching. Let's tackle the Windows task first. I'll name it Windows OS Patching. Under Microsoft Updates, I'm selecting all security updates. Then I'll assign a suitable deployment policy, choose the target systems, and enable end user notifications so no one's caught off guard. Let's click create, and the Windows APD task is ready. Now onto the third-party patching task. We'll start by naming it something simple like third-party app patching. I'm choosing all severities under third-party updates. Assigning a deployment policy. Defining the target group. And again, turning on end user notifications. Done and done. APD task created. For certain third-party apps that require a valid license to access patches, you'll need to manually download the updates from the vendor's website, upload them into the console, and then deploy them from there. Let's take Google Chrome as an example. Arguably one of the most widely used apps in any organization. Let's see how we can patch it smoothly. First, we create a new deployment policy. I'll name it Chrome policy. I'm going with the regular week split type and selecting all weeks and days. The deployment window, 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m., pretty much open all day. You can enable pre and post deployment activities if needed. I'm also enabling end user notification, and here's something important. I'm allowing users to skip the deployment if needed, because we don't want to interrupt them during critical work. But if they skip it for more than 3 days, we'll go ahead and force deploy. Let's hit save and continue, and just like that, our Chrome policy is set. Now we just need to assign this policy to an APD task. Back to the APD tab. We'll name the task. Select specific apps under third-party updates. In this case, just Chrome. Apply the Chrome policy. Choose the target group. And enable notifications one more time. Click create and we're done. Chrome patching is now streamlined and scheduled without a hitch. Now that is what we call efficient patching. Just like those example scenarios, you can tweak your deployment methods to suit your organization's needs. It's all about finding what works best for you. Moving on to the Windows lifecycle, if you're still running Windows 10, here's an important heads up. Its active support will officially end on October 14th, 2025. That means after that date, no more security updates or feature improvements. So if you haven't already, it's definitely time to start planning your upgrade to Windows 11 before support runs out. But don't worry. If you're already using Endpoint Central for patch management, you're in a great position to handle this transition smoothly. Let me walk you through how it can simplify the entire upgrade process for you. Let's jump into the console. On the home page, you'll see Zia's analysis. This feature is super helpful when making the move from Windows 10 to 11. It gives you insights like which Windows 10 devices are reaching end of life and which ones are ready to upgrade to Windows 11. Plus, you'll get other useful info to guide you along the way. For more details on how to get started, check out the links shared by our panelists in the chat. At ManageEngine, we're excited to share that you can easily initiate the feature pack update through Patch Manager Plus. Also, folks, we've put together an easy-to-follow guide on how to upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11 using ManageEngine Endpoint Central. Simply scan the QR code to watch it or check out the link we've shared in the chat. Several software applications are approaching their end of life soon. We've highlighted a few key ones, but it's important to stay informed about all outdated software running on your endpoints. To view the complete list of end-of-life software, along with their expiration dates, go to Threats and Patches, and Threats, and then High-Risk Software. This section provides detailed insights, helping you proactively identify and mitigate potential security risks before they become a threat to your environment. Also, dear participants, we're excited to let you know that we're regularly uploading how-to guides and deep dive videos on our YouTube channel to help you with onboarding, best practices, and troubleshooting. Stay informed, get answers to your questions, and enhance your skills. Subscribe to our channel and never miss an update. Also, here's some great news. Our user conference is happening in the USA this month and in the UK this October. To stay in the loop about upcoming conferences, free training webinars, and other events near you, make sure to follow us on LinkedIn. We'll be sharing the links to our YouTube channel and LinkedIn page in the chat now. Stay connected and keep learning. Let's move on to Patch Tuesday update breakdown now. So this time there are 81 vulnerabilities, out of which 2 are also a zero-day vulnerabilities. We'll be discussing them in the later slides, but taking a look at the breakdown, we see a total of patches 140 plus released to mitigate the 84 vulnerabilities. Also, if these vulnerabilities are left unpatched in your endpoints, they can cause 6 different kinds of impacts in your systems, which we'll also be discussing in detail in the following slides. So as I said earlier, there are 2 zero-day vulnerabilities released in this month's Patch Tuesday. Let me quickly show you where to find them in the console. Let us navigate to the top menu, click on Threats and Patches. On the left pane, click on Threats and choose Zero-Day Vulnerability. Now let me go ahead and fix this vulnerability in my system. Let us tick off the box and click on Install Patches. It will automatically take you to manual deployment. By applying all the necessary configurations, you can successfully patch this zero-day vulnerability. So let's take a look at what this month's zero-day vulnerability brings to light. Identified as CVE 2025-55234, this critical flaw impacts Windows SMB server and could allow an unauthenticated attacker to elevate privileges and gain access to sensitive accounts. The root cause lies in a flaw within the SMB authentication process that makes privilege escalation possible when SMB signing and extended protection for authentication are not properly configured. By exploiting relay attacks, an attacker with network access can impersonate users and move laterally within the network, potentially compromising domain controllers or critical servers. Microsoft has assigned this vulnerability a CVSS score of 8.8, reflecting its significant impact if left unpatched. Another zero-day, CVE 2024.2.1907 affects Microsoft SQL Server through the Newtonsoft JSON library and could allow attackers to cause denial of service by triggering a Stack Overflow. The flaw stems from improper handling of exceptional conditions in the JSON convert deserialize object method, where crafted JSON input overwhelms the server's processing capacity. Attackers with access to SQL endpoints can exploit this to crash services and disrupt operations. Microsoft has assigned this vulnerability a CVSS score of 7.5, highlighting the risk it poses. Prompt application of patches is essential to safeguard SQL Server instance. Now let us move on to the critical vulnerabilities. We have 8 critical vulnerabilities this month out of the 84 total vulnerabilities. We have 76 important vulnerabilities too. So let's talk in detail about the critical vulnerabilities. We have picked the top 5 critical vulnerabilities for you. First, we have CVE 2025-54918, a privilege escalation vulnerability in Windows NTLM. NTLM, or Windows NTLAN Manager, is an authentication protocol that verifies users and computer identities in Windows networks. This flaw results from improper authentication handling and could allow an authenticated attacker to elevate privileges over the network, ultimately gaining system-level access. Next up is CVE 2025-55226, a remote code execution vulnerability in Windows graphics kernel. The issue arises from improper handling of objects in memory, which could allow an authenticated attacker to execute arbitrary code in kernel mode. Successful exploitation could lead to a complete system compromise. Following that is CVE 2025-55228, another remote code execution vulnerability in Windows graphics component. This vulnerability is due to a race condition in the handling of objects in memory, which could allow an authenticated attacker to execute arbitrary code. Exploitation of this flaw could result in a complete system compromise. Then we have CVE 2025-55236, a remote code execution vulnerability in DirectX graphics kernel. The vulnerability is caused by improper handling of objects in memory, which could allow an authenticated attacker to execute arbitrary code in kernel mode. Successful exploitation could lead to a complete system compromise. Lastly, CVE 2025-54910 is a remote code execution vulnerability in Microsoft Office. A heap-based buffer overflow flaw in Microsoft Office may allow an unauthenticated attacker to execute arbitrary code. Exploitation of this vulnerability could lead to a complete system compromise. Now, speaking about the patches by impact, as we mentioned earlier, that if these vulnerabilities are left unpatched, they can have 6 different kinds of impacts on your systems. Starting with 41 causing elevation of privilege, 22 causing remote code execution, 16 causing information disclosure, 3 causing denial of service, 2 causing security feature bypass, and 1 causing spoofing. Now let's take a look at the operating systems and the applications that have been affected this month. So as we saw earlier, there were a total of 84 vulnerabilities, out of which 59 have been found in Windows, 18 in Microsoft Office, 3 in Azure, 3 in SQL Server, and 1 in other applications. Dear participants, if you want the entire information about the Patch Tuesday updates, you can directly refer to ManageEngine's Patch Tuesday forum post. Also, we've put together a quick survey for you. It's designed to help us understand how satisfied you are with the content we provide and how we can serve you better. It takes less than a minute to complete. I'll pause for a few seconds so you can fill it out.